So I am pretty much done with the Elgato Wave 3 as a USB mic. It sounds great when it works, but I seem to have run into nothing but problems with it. Even when I am able to try it on a different system, I get crackles. Random crackles. I'm not into random crackles. It's not really a thing. Unless I'm eating Rice Krispies, then I'm totally into random crackles. But like when it comes to devices that I'm paying for, that I expect to work, yeah, I kind of need that to happen. Like no crackles. Big fan of the no crackles thing. And I'm not the only person who's experienced this specifically with an Elgato microphone. So I have laid out that I'm going to be switching over the stream setup to a Windows PC. And part of that process is ensuring that it works, across the board, not just the production hardware, but the whole experience on my side, not just your side, my side too. And unfortunately, when I went to install the software, I ran into an error on Windows. Didn't run into an error on macOS, but on Windows, I ran into an error. It was see, the microphone may sound okay. I may be the one who's messed up right now because it's just been a dizzying array of affairs. So I ran into an error, like a crash, basically. And I did some research on it, and I binged it because I had not yet changed my search provider on Windows after freshly installing it. And apparently, my setup here isn't compatible. It's like I have to choose one evil or another. So, as much as I like the audio quality of the Elgato Wave 3, I'm not willing to put up with its array of software shortcomings. And I'm willing to say that, at least as far as the Mac's concerned, it may very well have been a compatibility issue with the amount of amps that were available on any given USB port. But they don't really surface that intelligence in their technical documentation, so it's been a lot of troubleshooting on my own. That's something they should have done a better job with, which is unfortunate because I like Elgato products. I'm using Elgato lights. I'll probably buy an Elgato, either a ring light or another one of these key lights. So that's not in question. But what's in question is that mic, and specifically how they've decided to execute upon it. Other people are having similar issues. So I am back to using the good old AT2020, the live.pirillo.com AT2020, the one I was getting ready to sell. I assume there's no cracks and pops like that's what it sounds like. That's what the Wave 3 would sound like. I'd be talking and then I'd be silent for a second and it would go. That's just great. So as long as you can hear me, I'm good. And I'm going to standardize on this and futz with the settings and get it going because there's no software layer on top of this to get it to work. Because, unfortunately, there's not really a viable alternative. So I will continue to tweak. But the one thing I wanted to do today, before getting the new camera, was specifically get the microphone not to fart. That's the thing. If you're into farting microphones, like the Elgato Wave series, I'm sure is great. Like, if you love random farts, and don't get me wrong, I'm the kind of person who does love a good random... Did I trigger Siri? How the hell did I trigger Siri? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Apple, stop listening. You know what? I've never... Honestly, I'm not joking. I don't think I've ever in my entire life, in this galaxy, in this plane of existence, ever intentionally triggered Siri. Now, I know you would say to me, well, Chris, why don't you turn it off? Well, why would I? I paid to have access to it, but I paid to have access to it when I want it. What did I say that was even close? So, if there's any mic farts that should be happening, They should be coming straight from my butt. Those are the only farts that I allow on my stream. I don't like random mic farts. Unless Mike's here. I don't know if I know a Mike anymore, but if there was a Mike here and he farted, like, that would be okay. But like a microphone farting? Not good. Not in my humble opinion. So hopefully, you heard Mike farts? Really? Did the mic fart? Did it really? Because if it farted, I got another problem. I'm going to have to listen to this stream again, because if the AT2020 is farting too, then we got another problem altogether. But either way, I don't believe I'm going to be able to use the Wave 3 in my current setup. Yeah, it doesn't take long to get me on the topic of farts, Cine up. It really doesn't. In fact, I could talk about farts all night. And yes, that's a threat. So I've been trying to mitigate microphone/audio issues. I've been trying to mitigate visual issues that that are well beyond my control. And I'm really hesitant to add another layer to all this. I really don't want to. I genuinely don't. I'm worried. I'm worried that as much as I'm trying to improve production setup, it's like sliding the other direction. And I don't just mean in terms of like content. Like, I'll talk about farts all day long when I intend to talk about farts. But if I don't intend to talk about farts, the last thing I need is the microphone to go on its own. Like, So, yeah, stay tuned for the continued evolution of what the hell happens in Chris's world. And yes, by the way, Beast Old One, that does count for both high-pitch and low-pitch farts. Silent but Deadlies, I'm not too concerned about when it comes to microphones, because another issue I ran into that I watched when I rewatched yesterday's live video to listen for the mic farts was specifically the camera would shake because I would hit the desk. And this is a problem I've had for years, is hitting the desk, not wanting to hit the desk, but inadvertently I'd hit the desk, and it was really bad. So I want to lean on the desk, but I've got to be very careful about how I lean on the desk, because if I lean on the desk too hard, and it's just like regular, hitting the desk and doing that, and you get the whole shake thing, and I can't do it. So I rolled back to a tripod that seemed to have dampened the vibration, and I'm also ordering whether or not they work, like feet that you place underneath tripod legs to mitigate shake. Astronomers use this, right? But those may be smaller vibrations than a regular Chris hitting the desk thing. So I don't know yet how that's going to work out. I don't yet know how this is going to work a day from now. I don't know how it's going to sound. I don't know how it's going to look. I'm just aiming to have something that I can just turn on and go. I am so sick and tired of futzing with this production stuff. There's a reason I did not upgrade any of this for years. Because anytime you change something, inevitably you fart it up. I do have a tripod for the floor. I do. But the problem is there's not floor directly behind this desk. So then it's, do I move what's behind the desk? Do I set the tripod up on the thing that's behind the desk? It just becomes very not fun to think about. This is not what exhilarates me. And I know there are production nerds out there who love the cameras and the megapixels and the bit rates and the audios and the jacks and the ports and the XLRs and the USBs, and I'm just like, dude, I just want to flip a switch and be done with it. I don't want to mess with it. I want to press a button, get it set up, and be good. And despite me having gone through all of those steps, like I'm still hitting blips. And so, yeah, I guess I'm kind of starting from scratch all over again.